Come correct or don't come at all.
This is the Hartzog Hustle Podcast.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And we're talking about the hustle, strategy, and mindset you need to win in the areas of your finance, your purpose, and your future.
Know what I'm saying?
If you have heart and you want to learn how to activate the power of your hustle, then this is the podcast for you, baby.
Congratulations.
And now, your hosts, Anthony and Jhanilka Hartzog.
This is how it should be done.
I feel like it's been a little bit for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's been maybe 2-3 weeks.
It feels like, but we've been releasing these podcast episodes. If you guys are brand new here, we're going to do a brief intro. Welcome to the Hartzog Hustle Podcast. My name is Anthony.
Okay, my name is Jhanilka. I was about to say, we do an intro every time, no matter if they're new or old.
Well, we got to make sure that our people are aware. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you may notice the visuals being a little bit different. We are recording in our home studio. We're building out a home studio.
Yes, so bear with us as we make these transitions. But before we skip ahead, you didn't intro me the way that you should. Join with my beautiful wife. Remember that?
Join with my beautiful wife and current mother of my beautiful child, Alani.
Not current. It's not going to never not be current.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yes, exactly.
Mother of my daughter, Alani.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. As we said, we're doing this new setup, and bear with us as we transition. I think it'll be a good thing. I'm excited for it.
So we are in the month of May, and we just celebrated Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, your
and
birthday.
my birthday. So May is like our craziest month. Mayhem is always our craziest month.
Yes.
And we also got married in the month of May, so our anniversary will be coming up soon.
Yep, May 21st. So there's a lot happening. But before we continue to jump in, we want you guys to subscribe. We want you guys to make sure that you're downloading the podcast, all of the above. And we like to shout out those people that did leave us a review. So let me shout out one person. We
hit over 100 reviews too on our podcast.
Clap hands. Woo!
That's amazing. Shout out to y'all leaving those reviews.
I was there.
Review of the week.
I was there and now I'm not.
You were literally just there.
So now, okay, let me go to the reviews. So I'm going to shout out one person.
Okay.
Bruno71. Did I do him last time?
I don't know.
Bruno718, very motivational was the title. I started to get my side hustle going because of these guys. Love how open and honest they were about their journey to being debt free. I will buy a debt free shirt the day that I am too. Thanks, guys, for the info.
Shout out to Bruno.
Thank you, Bruno. And if you didn't know, we have a debt free shirt that says debt free AF. You can buy that link in bio on Instagram, by the way. So that's what he's referencing.
And that's very motivational too, because like if you are on this debt free journey, a lot of people fake it before they make it. But he's like, oh, I'm not buying that shirt until I get out of debt. So that's super dope.
But some people buy it as motivation to make sure that they can wear it when the time comes. So either way,
that's true too.
But make sure that you are subscribing.
Yep.
On YouTube. Make sure you're leaving us a review. Stop and do it now. The 5-star review. It helps us to be seen and share it with someone. All of the above.
And like this video too. That's very important. Like the video. So Mother's Day. We just celebrated Mother's Day.
Yep.
And how was your Mother's Day?
It was good. Mother's Day was good. First Mother's Day, did a massage away for about 90 minutes. Breakfast in bed. On the couch in bed. You get what I'm saying?
On the couch.
I don't eat in my room. What else? Champagne. Went to our favorite. We did steakhouse. My grandmother and aunt is here helping us with Alani. So we all did that. That was a good time. We love steak. I love steak. So
yeah, steakhouse. Where did we go? What was the steakhouse?
Perry's
Steakhouse. Really close. Really close spot. Great service.
So yeah, Mother's Day was good.
Mother's Day was good. My birthday was amazing. And my birthday this year was different from my birthday last year.
Oh my God.
My birthday last year was, you had to, go ahead, tell the story.
If you are new here, you may not have known about this, which a lot of people don't. But last year is when he turned 35, and I did a big surprise celebration with 25 to 30 people flew down here, and we had a celebration weekend. Technically today, it was the 13th of when it happened. Yeah. We were going to walk the dog, and everybody was hidden in spots around our apartment. And the weekend started. Literally stayed at an Airbnb, paintball. I don't know. We rode on the bikes. We did everything. We did a Louisville. We went on a boat ride. Had a nice dinner. Sunday Fun Day. It was amazing.
Sunday Fun Day was lit.
We had a really, really good weekend, but it was completely different this year.
Yeah. And my friend hit me up and she's like, I love you, Tone. I hope this birthday is as fun as your last one. And I want to say it's different types of fun. Like, I'm not saying this birthday was more fun or less fun, but it was just different type of energy. And I think this birthday was a lot more reflective. I did a lot more reflecting on this birthday and just thought about life a little bit more.
There was no time for reflecting last year.
There was no time for reflection.
Drinking and moving.
It was
we're
lit,
going.
turn up. So there wasn't much reflection. And this year, at least this birthday, made me reflect a little bit more on just where we are. And then compared to where we were last year, like I'm a lot more happier this year. I'm a lot more free. I'm a lot more fulfilled this year than I was last year. And this year kind of was just like a calm down, sit down, think about it moment and kind of made me look into it.
And you had said that last year, the day, because when I say it was a whole weekend thing, people were here from Thursday to Monday.
Yeah.
And so that's when we got back home Monday in the afternoon. And you said last year is when you kind of reflected and what's going on here? Last year is when you kind of reflected and said to yourself about work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want to be after the whole weekend of celebration. Is when you said to yourself, I mean, we were talking about it before then, but it kind of hit home more at that time.
It was like that Monday came and all the friends were leaving or getting ready to leave and the weekend was done. It was like, that was one of those first moments where I had that I really got to go back to work feeling.
Yeah, that was a hard weekend to go back to work.
And that was outside the hangover. Outside the hangover.
It was like a good time. It was just such a good time.
Yeah, it was like, but that was really the sit down moment where I said, all right, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to keep continuing to have to answer to someone else. And like, even though I'm a director, even though I was a director and I had unlimited PTO, I still had to email someone and say, I'm going to be out on Monday.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like that feeling of not having that freedom and flexibility where, the whole weekend and a lot of people have this same feeling on Mondays. They call it the Sunday scaries where like, I don't want to get ready for work tomorrow. I hate Sundays because Monday's the work day. And that Monday is like, damn, I really got to email another grown adult and say, I don't want to come in today or I'm unavailable to come in today. I could have just taken off, but it was just like,
responsibility.
I didn't like having that chain of command.
Yeah. I mean, well, speaking about going back to work, that's me in about 10 days back to work.
How you feel about that?
And because you're talking about Sunday scare, I don't feel like I ever get Sunday scaries, but that feeling of like, I got to put in for PTO, I got to put in for time off it is annoying.
Do you feel like with having Alani, it forces you to kind of think about it a little bit more? Like, I don't want to go back to that life where I have to clock in and clock out. Because you've been out. I mean, you had a baby, so you've been out for how many?
So it's going to be 3 months that I got off fully paid, thankfully. So how am I feeling about going back? The freedom has been great. Like to just move about and do what I want with our businesses, even with the baby, things like that, not have to worry about anything. So I'm indifferent about it. I'm not one of those people though that I know some people say like they want to go back to feel a sense of independence.
Yeah.
Or that sense. That's not a feeling that I have. I don't know. Work, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe that's why I don't feel like it's giving me independence. And I work from home, so I'll be around anyway. I'm not excited to go back. No, I'm not excited to go back. So
how does that's going to change our life tremendously because these last 3 months we've been able to not say what we want, or we just had a lot more freedom and flexibility. So if we had a meeting, we didn't have to wait until after 5 p.m. to do the meeting, or if we want to go out and run errands, we didn't have to wait till Saturday and Sunday to run these errands. Right. It impacts my life too.
Or just even with her sleeping, right? So most of the time she does 6-hour stretches, but like past few days she's been doing maybe like 4 hours. So then she's waking up at like 3-4 o'clock, and then again at like 8. I start work at 8:30. So all of that, and then I'm breastfeeding. And so all of that kind of plays into it, having time to pump, which legally they allow you to pump. All these things kind of play into it. Right now, I could sleep again till 9-10 o'clock. Obviously, I can't do it anymore, so that's going to impact my sleep. How is that going to impact my mood? How is that going to impact everything else? So it's going to be a change. We'll see. We'll have to update. That's going to be a podcast on its own, returning back to work.
You're going to have to, and then even Alani, like her life changes too.
She don't know her life is changing though.
No.
I know
she's a baby,
hanging out.
but she knows her life is changing because now I don't have immediate access to my mother in general.
She does. I work from home, so she does have the access. But I mean, I think it's more about navigating. I guess we'll see how much does my job work with me when I have a meeting, but oh no, my baby's crying. I need to breastfeed. Like, sorry, I'm gonna be on mute, camera off. I know you require a camera, but that ain't happening today. Like, those things are probably an adjustment of advocating for myself and that type of stuff. Like, my manager is older, in 70s, never had kids, so
Yeah. That
it's a different ball game. Obviously, you can understand that somebody breastfeeds, but if you don't experience it, you may not understand all the logistics.
No, you don't.
So
No, you don't. Oh, trust me.
So, those type of things is what it may take. And like, I don't call out ever. Like, I don't ever call out. Like, every time I'm off, it's PTO. So things may change with that. Like, oh, I gotta go. My child, it's something happening. Like, I gotta go. There's no question here. Even if you say yes or no, do what you gotta do. I gotta go. So all those things.
But you have that. You also have that flexibility because you work from home.
Yeah.
Now, if you go into an office, most mothers don't work from home.
No, I know.
So a mother going back to the office after 3 months, now you're like, a lot of mothers don't go back to the office because they're like, I can't be away from my kid.
Yeah.
And not because they don't want to, because they physically can't be away from their kid.
Don't have the help, or honestly, childcare costs so much. A lot of people that you're just working to pay the childcare, so you might as well just stay home. So that happens a lot of times too with mothers. So right now, like I said, we have my abuela and my tia here helping us,
which has been extremely helpful.
Very, 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 very helpful. But by the first week of June, they're going to be gone. So we basically solidified a nanny that we're going to be working with and bringing on to the family beginning of July, end of July. So that will be helpful too, but we shall see. Just a lot of changes. Just always changes with a kid.
I mean, the Hartzog hustle. I mean, our whole lives have changed tremendously over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then even with the nanny search, going back to the business side of it, it was just like hiring for any other role, like independent contractors for our cleaning business.
Yeah. People say they want a job, you hit them up, they don't respond. But that just shows you from the beginning, like, if you're not responsive, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing anyone. Well, I don't believe in chasing anyone to pay you, first of all, but especially when it comes to my kid, I need responsibility. I need responses. I definitely we were looking for someone that speaks Spanish. If you don't know, my family speaks Spanish fluently. I am like the only one in my family that does not. And we did not want that for Alani. So I'm like, my family speaks to her in Spanish. We have a nanny that's going to be speaking Spanish. So hopefully it's a win.
Hopefully she can
with
take
her
some
knowing
of that
the language.
Espanol.
Even though her parents doesn't, that's fine. She needs to be better off than us.
And then that will also give her opportunities that you may have. I remember when you were applying for roles and they were like Spanish speaking or optional, not even optional, required. And you're like, if I spoke Spanish, I could have got this role. Yeah,
because I'm a mental health therapist. First of all, there's not a lot of therapists, minority therapists in general. And then for somebody to speak Spanish on top of that, they were paying well for that, and it's needed. So yeah, I lost out on a lot of jobs because of that. So she will be ahead. Okay.
And that's the goal. You want your kids to be way ahead of where you are. And that's like our goal with Alani, to make sure she kind of beats us in every aspect of our life.
Yeah. So what has happened? So we were speaking about Mother's Day. We were speaking about your birthday. Spoke just a little bit about Alani, things we've been doing for her. We opened up finally a 529 is what it's called. Opened up a 529 for her, which some people may not know. It's like a college fund. Some may say, if she doesn't go to college, what will you do with it? We may pass it down to our other child. If we have another child, you can pass it down to, so somebody better go to college, okay? But even if they don't go to college, you can take the money out. It's just tax really high if they don't use it. So did that, looking into, we will also open an investment for her.
A brokerage account.
Brokerage account for her. What other update we have? Our home in St. Lucia. We're flying to St. Lucia this summer. That's why. Our home in St. Louis, we finally got a tenant in.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, we have two investment properties, one in Dallas, Fort Worth, and one in St. Louis. And number one, we got a tenant in the Dallas one. That was a big headache because we had to do a bunch of renovations on that property, and everyone, you hear, I mean, we spoke about this on one of the previous episodes. We'll link that in the show notes too on that previous episode, and just our real estate headaches. But that took a while to get a tenant in there too. And so we got a tenant in that property that's rented out at like $1,850. And then the St. Louis one is rented out at $1,300. So the challenge with the St. Louis property was that the market wasn't pretty much matching up with what the rents should have been for that property. So we ended up doing a free month, which a lot of properties do the free month, where you, even in Dallas, like you see all these apartment complexes and they're like, oh, the free month, come in, get in. So we did that. They got the tenant in. Tenant's been good so far. So no issues there. Hopefully.
And we have a property manager for both properties.
Yes.
So that helps with the headaches and I know people, some of you may be listening, you may have 20 properties and you do it all. Kudos to you. Not something that we wanted to do. So any property we have is going to have a property manager. We want freedom from what we're doing with the businesses. We don't want to have to think about these headaches or anything like that. So that's how we decide to run.
Yeah, and that's our goal, to continue to have that time freedom, location freedom
versus delegate.
Yeah, time freedom, location freedom, to have that's some points of financial freedom, to have time freedom and location freedom. So we don't have to worry about tenants emailing. They already emailed at least 4 or 5 times.
Well,
for little things,
not us.
So they emailed the property management company for like 4 or 5 things. And I would be really upset if they were emailing me for these
oh
issues
yeah, just because. Yeah, the energy.
The alarm was going off or something like that in the house. I'm like,
oh, did
whatever.
you see that? I'll be deleting them emails. Listen, it ain't for me. It ain't for me. Don't even put me on it unless you need me.
It's more of an FYI.
Yeah. Unless you need me.
But emails like that, is like, I don't want to have to deal with that type of stuff. So
I don't.
That's why we have a property manager in place.
Oh, sidebar. This is not necessarily property management, but I realized that we said that our anniversary is coming up, and so we're going away to Puerto Rico. We're going away to Puerto Rico, and we'll be traveling with Alani. She will be 11 weeks on her first flight, so that would be an experience in itself. If we were vloggers, I would vlog it, but we're not. So
I'm definitely not vlogging.
Yeah,
we barely hit 20 plus episodes on the podcast. You think I'm vlogging now?
No. I would love to vlog, but it does take so much work. If you vlog, you know. If you don't, and you just follow influencers and you think like, oh, they're just carrying a camera, let me tell you, it's way more than that.
And that's a gem. I don't want to skip over that gem, because that's actually a business gem too. People look at this stuff and they think it's a lot easier.
Oh, please. Oh, you're just taking a nice picture, or you're just getting a free product.
Even with the podcast, I think I underestimated the work it takes to run a podcast, and I think I underestimate a lot of things, but I'm always willing to try it and see how it goes and make sure it's successful, which is why we're doing this in our studio, because Alani changed our life around. So
yeah,
one of the things, can we spend a few minutes on that?
On what? Vlogging?
No, just
a lot of work it takes for entrepreneurship in general.
Just what we're doing right now. The podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
So even with this, so we were going to a studio, and you'll still see a few episodes of us in the studio, because we don't want to bring people to our house right just yet.
Yeah.
As we're still kind of figuring this out. So you may see like, well, you're just recording an episode every single week. And yes, you're recording an episode every week, but you're looking at mics, you got lights behind us. You see, we got a backdrop that's supposed to be coming down. We got a computer over here, and you may hear the output of what's happening, but you don't see the background as to what it took. And a lot of it was just like overthinking, trying to figure this out. And you were like, let's just go up there and just record an episode and just see how it goes.
It is what it is. You take us. I mean, we're still giving the same knowledge. So let's be clear.
So you may think
that ain't changing.
So in business, you may seem like, all right, well, they run a cleaning business or they run properties, and it looks like it's going well. But you got to understand, it takes a lot of behind the scenes work to kind of get to where it is. So you may look at it, us being 20 episodes in this podcast, and this studio may not seem like much, but you never know. 20 more weeks from now, it may completely be a different setup.
Yeah, I think in general, because social media makes things look, I mean, it's social media. You're only going to show your positive. Like, why am I sharing negative? Unless you're trying to like teach a lesson or something like that. Most of the times people share the positive. You don't see things in the background. So people just assume, oh, they're just taking a picture, or they're just, it's an ad. They got that for free, so it's nothing. But it takes time. It takes money. Yeah. It takes time and knowledge to learn the money. Like you get the camera, you get the lights, you get the mic, but how do you make it work all together? Right? And then if you're doing an ad for something, we're not doing that, but I'm just saying, if you're doing an ad for something, placement, lighting, getting products from the stores to make it all look good. It's just a lot of work that people don't think about at all or don't know. So Yes.
Because you just see the highlight reel, essentially.
You see the highlight reel. Oh, because I'm like, how did we get here? I was saying if we could vlog, we would for Puerto Rico, but we'll put it in our stories. We'll make a reel on Instagram.
At a minimum, you'll see a reel.
You'll see a reel about us traveling with the baby. I started following a lot of pages that provide like traveling hacks for babies, just to make sure that we're kind of prepared. A lot of talk, I see people talk about going through TSA while breastfeeding milk. They allow you to pass it through, but some workers don't know that, and a lot of moms get hassled. So it's just so much to kind of know about ahead of time.
You said there was a course on that too.
There's a course. It's somebody I follow. They have a course on traveling with a baby.
Yeah, literally. Why haven't you taken it?
I didn't buy it yet, but I said I was gonna, but I would definitely buy it.
Because what happens is you're getting a bunch of different information from a bunch of different people, which is fantastic. But if you could get that group of information from that one person who's gone through it.
All the hacks and things that they've done. Yeah, I already learned a hack from them that I'm gonna try. Yeah.
What's the hack?
Because I don't know if it's easy to explain.
So hold on, before you even tell me what the hack is, you're doing what we tell our students not to do.
Yeah, because I think that I can do it. Yeah, so I get on the plane and shit.
You're trying to figure this out. You're trying to figure all of this out by yourself. You're trying to take a bunch of hacks from YouTube and Google.
No, I don't go searching. There's a difference.
An example, but I'm just saying.
There's a difference. I follow it on Instagram and I see it. So
you're going to a bunch of these places trying to get these hacks, and instead of getting it from one source.
Yeah. No, I agree. I got 2 pages that I mainly follow, but one page has a. I'm gonna buy the course. It's like $65.
$65.
It's not even. She should charge more, but she don't know it yet. But yeah,
I've had people come to me and like friends and family, like different things, like, oh, what's this information? Do you know? I'm like, oh, there's a course on this. I send it to them, and it's like $40, and they come back like 3 months later, like, oh, I took the plunge. I'm like, $40 of the plunge? You spent $40 more at the bar. I was talking to my friend.
I think that it's the mindset around it. People don't, because this is a newer age to buy knowledge or education from someone that's not school, right? We grow up, at least our age, we showing our age. We grow up knowing that we get the knowledge from a professor or maybe a parent. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
You don't get knowledge from a stranger on Instagram or on social media. And I think people wrapping their mind around that, they're like, oh, I don't want to lose out on money. It's like, sis, you lost on $100 at brunch when we were standing on tables and you ain't getting that back. But
exactly.
I think that's what it is. It's just the mindset of that. People want this guarantee. I'm like, you want guarantee for $50, but we are in a different space now. Like, we spent $2,000 on courses. We spent $2,500 on courses. And I know people in our lives,
$20,000, $30,000 on coaches.
Yeah, I know people in our life that would never. They'd be like, no way. But that's just where they are. It's just a mindset. They're just where they are. They don't have that understanding.
But if you could shortcut the process, like, we were talking about this in my boys' chat, and they were talking about like sports betting or something like that. And they were like spending money. They were like losing money on sports. I'm like, I follow this guy, and all he does is talks about sports betting the whole time. He has a whole community, and the question was like, it was like $50 course. Like, oh, can you guarantee me that I'll win money from this? I'm like, the community is $50, and you just lost $50. So why not just put the money into this knowledge and information with the potential of winning versus you just continuously losing? Why not learn from somebody who's actually doing it, who's teaching other people doing it and knowing the skill versus you trying it and losing on your own week after week or day after day?
The way I feel about it is I can't help everybody, and I don't try to. You try to help everybody. I definitely don't.
I left the conversation alone.
I definitely don't. I would say I feel like I know people like where they are.
Yeah.
Right? There's some people in my group that I know would be receptive to, like, you should try this, and then there's some people that I don't, so I don't even mention it. Is that bad of me? Maybe, maybe not, but they got to get to that place on their own. I ain't the Lord and Savior.
How do you get to that place, though?
How do we get to that place? Exposing ourselves to other things. Social media has helped us to be more comfortable on social media, if that makes sense. Exposing ourselves to other things, knowing that everything isn't a scam. I mean, coming from New York, you probably feel like everything is a scam.
Everything's a scam.
Everything from specifically from Brooklyn.
The train is a scam. The apartments are a scam.
Well, the pricing out there is
the housing lottery is a scam.
Those are scams.
The parking system is a scam.
You're naming scams. Yeah, so just putting ourselves out there, realizing like, okay, if we lose out on the 100, we'll make it back tenfold. It's okay. We could lose out on it. And I'm not saying our friends and family can't afford to lose out on it. That's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
They just are just like, no, I just need guarantees. And as I tell people, it's no guarantees. Just like when people ask us about a course, can you guarantee? No. Don't take our course if you want the guarantee. I can't guarantee you nothing.
Don't break my new table. Don't break my new table.
So yeah.
Yeah, there's no guarantees in life, man. And that's one of the things that speaking of life, and like I was saying earlier, like
Hold on, before you get into that, you got to do a commercial break of our course. You haven't done it yet.
Oh, speaking of, if you guys didn't know, we just hit $1 million in our cleaning business, and we teach people how to start a 6-figure cleaning business without cleaning houses. You can learn how to start, scale, and grow your cleaning business without cleaning houses. Tap in cleaningbusinessuniversity.com, and you will have a link there. It's a 10-minute webinar and teach you how we run and scale our cleaning business. And our students have done over $2.5 million in revenue.
And growing.
That was actually that stat is like a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. So we might be over 3 million at this point, but $2.5 million in revenue from not cleaning houses in the cleaning industry. Tap in below cleaninguniversity.com. We'll have a link in the show notes. If you watch us on YouTube, it'll be below in the notes somewhere, or you can just go in our bio on Instagram.
Yes, go ahead.
cleaningbusinessuniversity.com.
Thank you for bearing with us for our commercial break. Go ahead.
Commercial break. What was I talking about? Talking about time.
You said life.
Life.
I don't know.
So, like I said, this birthday allowed me to reflect on life. And I think this birthday was more of a realization that time is limited. I know we say that all the time. I think people understand it.
Oh.
What?
No, I'm saying I remember where this conversation came from. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I was thinking that with Alani being here, I'm seeing her grow every single day. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn. She's gonna, and I was like, damn, I don't want my daughter to ever bury me. I don't want to have to bury my daughter. I would love, my daughter needs to bury me. And I think that was like a John Q quote, but time is speeding by. We only 35, 36. Time is flying.
No, we're getting older. I'm not even 35 yet, but we're getting older. And I thought about it when I posted that video of you. It was the second day we were in the hospital after she was born, of you dancing with Alani to Future.
Yeah.
And it's like looking back at, because she was born February 28th, so March 1st, actually. Looking back from then to now, it's like, it feels like years have gone by. She has changed so much. They have a saying for kids. They say the days are long and the years are short, which I totally agree with. But this conversation came up, especially when we were watching, I don't know if you guys watched This Is Us. Spoiler if you haven't watched it in a while, but this is going to be a spoiler.
Don't spoil the show.
It's not spoiling the show. Everybody knows this was going to happen, though, if you watch the show. Anyway.
Wow, you about to spoil it for everyone.
No, it's not a big spoil.
Hold on.
I gave a heads up, so you should pause at this point.
If you haven't caught up on This Is Us, you may want to skip ahead about 45 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, that's it. Mom is passing away, and in the last episode, they just kind of showed how when they were younger, mom took care of them, the kids, the big three, you know it. And now they're taking care of her.
Yeah.
And it's just like the life cycle of how it goes. If you're that lucky. And I have my grandmother here. She's 88. I remember when we used to go to Panama when I was 6 years old. Every summer I used to go.
Yep.
And she was taking care of us. And now it's kind of like, are you okay? Can you go up and down the steps? She's still moving and grooving, cooking and doing her thing, but it's still like
outside doing the gardening and everything.
Yeah, it's just still that type of, and you think about that, you're like, well, your baby was just born, but yeah, you see all these things that kind of remind you that, like you said, with time, it's not going to be the same time forever.
And you don't want to waste time. I know everybody talks about time is money and time. I don't personally think time is money. Time is time, and we waste time and we waste money. Mm-hmm. And if time was really money, you would not be wasting time or money.
Okay, what the hell? That was like what do they call those things? Not a tongue twister, but you listening like, huh?
That's trying to keep up. I'm like, Jay-Z, that's a double entendre right there. Rewind that if you ain't catch it the first time. But I'm saying everyone talks about time. Time is money. Time is money. No, time is not money, because you waste your time at work every single day to make money, and you're not using that money to give you more time back. Yeah. So with Alani kind of growing and becoming her own person at this point, is like,
she's barely 3 months.
She's barely 3 months, and she's saying yes, and not saying yes and no, but she's hinting at yeses and nos and stuff like that. But we can't waste time. Like, and I haven't drank in like the last 5 months or so, and I'm like, am I not drinking because I don't want to drink anymore, or am I not drinking because of the ramifications that happens due to drinking?
Usually.
Like, yes, if I wake up the next day with a hangover, that whole day is wasted.
Whole day.
And then you can say, all right, well,
I can't afford to do that at this point.
Especially with a kid. So it's like, maybe I'm scared of that happening, but maybe it's just like, I don't want to waste time that I can't get back laying in the bed all day, not because I want to, because I physically can't get up and do it. So if you think about things like that at this point, especially with having a kid or having a business, like it was an email thread I was dealing with, and it took me 30 minutes. The person put the wrong email address in and they didn't get the course. And I'm dealing with that email thread for 30 minutes. I'm like, no, I can't be wasting my time sitting in front of the computer for 30 minutes dealing with this one person to try to fix
When
everything.
they were wrong.
Yes, they were wrong.
Most of the
You have
time.
to yell at them.
I had to yell because if you're listening, well, it's multiple people that do it.
Yeah.
So they may not know.
So I'm dealing with this one person for 30 minutes because they didn't put their email address in, which happens more often than not. And every single time it happens, I say I'm going to hire someone to do it. That's insanity because I haven't hired anyone to do it. We've outsourced our entire cleaning business, but I'm still dealing with that.
Don't want to cut you, but are we wrapping on the 30-minute?
Nah, we're still going.
Okay, I didn't
We're
know.
good.
Okay.
We're good. So I'm dealing with this person, and this happens every single time. I deal with a customer service issue in our Cleaning Business University world, and it's like, I don't want to have to deal with it. I deal with it for 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to hire somebody. I don't. I deal with it again. I'm going to hire somebody. And I'm just wasting time over and over.
Definitely, because I'm like, what you doing upstairs?
And if time was really that important to me, I would not be wasting time like that.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, if we should link that episode too. We have a whole episode on do versus delegate, outsourcing everything, and we try to outsource a lot of things that would make our life easier. Even a nanny is technically outsourced. We both work from home. Could we watch the child? I mean, essentially, we could. I mean, I'm sure we could make it work when there's a meeting, pass her on, back and forth. But then we can't really give her that attention, I don't feel. So for those 8 hours that I'm clocked in at work, then I'm not giving her that attention that I could be able to, or that somebody else can give her to go to the park, to do her tummy time, to do all these things. And she's going to be having to wait till after 5 o'clock, right? So, all of those things, and we'll link that episode if you haven't listened, but we are very big on that do versus delegating.
But why don't we really know the value of time? And when
Why
do
don't
you,
we know it, or who's
when
gonna
do
know
you,
it?
I guess you, us as human beings, why don't we know the real value of time? Because I think, especially growing up, not growing up, when you're young, you think you have all the time in
I was
the
going to
world.
say, you think it's infinite? I think you see it all the time. We'll use the guy, what's his name? Kevin Samuels, that just passed away, right?
R.I.P. Kevin Samuels.
Or just anybody that you're like, I'm watching.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, or just I'm watching Beverly Hills Housewives, right? The Dory, if you don't know, she got robbed, and you're thinking like 5 hours earlier she was watching her kids play karate. Like, you know that things can happen in the blink of an eye. I know that I can get into a car accident as soon as I walk out this door.
Yeah.
You know these things, but it doesn't feel like it's going to happen to you, or you don't want to live your life thinking in that
definitely
fear
not.
either, right? So I think that's what plays into us as human beings feeling like we have more time. But then on the other side, we always say live like YOLO, right? You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You only live once.
You only live once. And so make sure that you do those experiences and do those things. And that's why for me, I know for Tony, like traveling is not big, or certain things is not big. Experiences is so big for me. Like for his birthday celebration that we spoke about that happened last year, like it's not really tangible. It's not something that we can take home besides like we got some candles made and cookies, but that experience you'll never forget. That whole weekend, like you'll never forget. And that's how I think about with traveling and doing new things. Like, yeah, we could have left Alani with my aunt for Puerto Rico, but I'm like, it's our first anniversary with having a child. Let's bring her. We're going to travel with her to St. Lucia. Like, let's make those experiences early as possible. So
Yeah, that was a gem that you just said there too. He's like, you can't take those experiences with you, but you'll never forget them. And then also the people that you involve in your life won't forget them. I'm sure our friends and family for the next 20, 30 years.
Oh,
think
yeah.
about that weekend where we were drinking on a boat in the middle of the ocean and chilling.
not ocean, child. Texas don't got no ocean. It was a lake.
It felt like an ocean. We was out there.
It felt like the ocean.
We was out there
dressed, we looked
mobbing.
good.
We was out there mobbing. You would thought we was on a yacht with all of that. But no, that's a good point. Like you can't take your money with you, can't take your assets with you, but those experiences and those memories do last forever. So, but that's important. That's very important. Putting your time into those experiences.
And that's why when people say, I mean, to an extent, obviously, when people talk about like people spending so much on certain things, or like they spent all that on the baby shower, they spent all that on the wedding, I'm like, that's their business. First of all, it's their money. That's one. But whatever makes that person happy, sometimes that big experience is something they didn't have as a child. And so they want to make sure they have it now, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So all those things, experiences is big for me. I'm gonna always pay for that. Luxury me. So
no, you are definitely an experiences person. And even when we talk about just experiences, so like for an example, we were flying somewhere, and there was a availability to upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade the seats. You missed out on that.
I missed it. And so he keep drilling me for that. So
Yeah.
We're going to St. Lucia, and they had availability
How long was the
at
flight?
a lower. Well, we had to stop in Miami. So
How long is that flight?
Dallas to Miami is maybe 2.5 to 3, and then Miami to St. Lucia I think is like 3.
Yeah, any flight over a couple hours, any flight over 4 hours needs to be an upgrade. So we're talking about experiences, but you like me being on a flight right now, my knees are shot. I've been in a knee brace for the last, I don't know, 3-4 months. I finally got out of it. So me sitting down for a long period of time, my knees are really bad. So it's really painful. So that experience for me would have been more beneficial to be in comfort than worrying about the extra couple $100 that we would have spent.
Yeah, and we'll have Alani with us, so we need the comfort, right? Them seats, first of all, if you ever just pay attention, them seats are small. Now you have a kid on top of it. Like, we were traveling back, where were we coming from? I think DC, and a lady, she was traveling with her son by herself, and he was a toddler, but she could not move.
Nope.
That's how I was trying to like make it comfortable for. We didn't have a lot. It was just me and Tony or whatever. But I'm like, she could not move because that child was big. First of all, like a toddler, and she couldn't navigate. So them seats ain't small. So yeah, upgrade. Next time I see it low, I'm gonna upgrade us. Don't worry.
So that goes. I mean, that's just all. That's revolving on the same thing. Like making sure that you value your time, value your space, value your comfort, because we're not gonna be here forever. And this has been a very, not speaking about mortality, but this year has been more. I mean, this birthday was more of a reflection birthday than anything. Just thinking about, all right, what's next? Where are we today? Where were we last year? I mean, it's only been a year, but life has changed so much. But then you realize that, all right, now I'm closer to 40 than I was to 30. And 40 is another huge milestone. What are we doing for 40?
Yeah, we going out the country. We don't know where we're going, but we're going out the country. But get ready, guys. All our friends and family that's listening. I'll let you know 2 years in advance.
But that's one thing I'm definitely going to be mindful of, is just making sure that we value our time a lot more, and just being there when we need to be.
Yeah, definitely. What else did we want to speak about? Because we're just doing an update on life, about what has been happening with us. Time, value, something that did we touch on this kind of like the recession part of things and fear and comfort?
That goes back to comfort.
Okay, that goes back to comfort. What else do we have?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good at this episode. We want to test out the
Out the equipment. We're testing out the vibe, testing out if we need to lower things, coloring, all of that.
The editing might not be the same because now we're doing it ourselves a little bit, but that's going to be outsourced too. So getting back to your time. So we still trying to figure this. We still trying to figure out this setup. Some of the episodes may be out of order, so we'll see us in the studio for a little bit too.
Because a lot of our episodes that we tape with other people has been. You know.
This was fun. This was different. We're gonna figure this out.
You looking around as if you don't live in this. As if you don't.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna get some stuff here, stuff on this wall here. If you're watching us on YouTube, get some stuff back here. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys watching us. Make sure you leave us a review.
Leave us a review on all the streaming platforms that you listen to this podcast at. Please make sure you're downloading, you're tuning in, sharing with other people. Also on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. Help us to grow. Help us to, share it with other people as well. Like, comment. We read all of them. It's us responding to all of them. We're not that big on YouTube or anything for us to outsource that. So, make sure you're doing that, and appreciate you guys for tuning in time after time, week after week. We're going to keep this thing going. We are 20 plus episodes in already. I don't know where the time went. But yes, thank you for tuning in.
I went to Chili's for my birthday, man. I don't care how much money we make. I don't care where we get in life.
Yes.
We celebrate my birthday in Chili's.
That's his favorite. That's his favorite restaurant. So.
And I get honey chipotle chicken crispers every time.
Yes, you do. So I actually have some leftovers. I'm about to go eat that now. But okay, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a great day.
All right, peace.
This has been an episode of the Hartzog Hustle Podcast. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite listening platform. And follow Anthony and Jhanilka on Instagram at The Hartrimony. That's TheHartrimony. Keep hustling, baby.
Get that money. Get that money.